talks about looking professional, but a C-suite wardrobe, that's a different conversation. It's not about price tags, it's not about looking professional, and it's definitely not what you will find on a generic what to wear to work Pinterest board. There is a strategy to dressing like someone who leads. In today's video, I'm breaking down how to build a wardrobe that says C-suite without the 1,000 price tag. You will learn what actually makes an outfit look high level, where to focus your budget, and the stunning tweaks that make the biggest difference. Hi, my name is Basia and I am an ex-celebrity stylist turned personal stylist, and I've spent over 15 years helping ambitious women, corporate professionals, and entrepreneurs build wardrobes that project authority, skills, and make my client feel confident every time they step in a room. So if this sounds like you, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post a new video, which is every Wednesday. So let's dive in. First of all, let's start with what a C-suite wardrobe actually looks like. Now, most of you might think that a C-suite wardrobe should just include a typical corporate look that's actually borrowed from menswear. And, you know, that typical, I would say, like the black suits, pencil skirts, just a standard conservative and generic outfit. And I'm sure you've seen this. And as much as there's absolutely nothing wrong with that look, it doesn't say anything about you and what you do, what you represent. And you are wrong if you think that that's enough, because this is an extremely general, generic outfit that anyone from an intern to middle management can wear. But if you are in C-suite, your wardrobe has to position you in a way that when you walk in a room, everyone knows the boss just walked in. An outfit like that will never do it, because it just won't differentiate you from anyone else. Now that we've got this out of the way, what should a C-suite outfit actually look like? Now, first things first, your overall wardrobe should reflect your aesthetics, your brand, your personality, obviously your style. So whether you love to wear, let's say, like bright colors, prints, florals, textures, or you might have more like a clean, classic minimal style, your wardrobe has to first and foremost reflect you, your personality, and obviously your role. So if you love bright colors, prints, textures, then yes, you should definitely incorporate those elements into your business wardrobe, because not only will that create consistency and build a brand for yourself, but most importantly, you are going to feel confident every time you walk in a room, because the clothes you wear actually reflect your personality, your aesthetics, and you're wearing the clothes that directly reflect your signature style. So let's look at some examples, okay? So let's start with Rosalind Brewer, who is a CEO of Sam's Club. And when you look at her wardrobe, there's color, there's print, there's texture, there's obviously presence, but also there's consistency. Of course, her wardrobe will change depending on the occasion. Some outfits might be less business and more casual, but overall, there's a clear consistency in her brand, her style, her color, the types of silhouettes, textures, and prints she chooses. So based on this example, she's not just wearing one of those generic, boring, expected menswear inspired looks. She actually brings her image, her personality, her personal style, her brand into her business wardrobe. And that's what makes her stand out. That's what positions her as a C-suite leader. So based on this, you really have to think about what's your style. What do you like to wear? What are your favorite colors, prints, textures, and how, can you incorporate those into your business wardrobe? Because at this level, as a C-suite leader, the expected generic wardrobe is not enough to position yourself as a woman with authority, skills, and someone who's actually running the show. Now, the next thing that really differentiates C-suite leaders who dress well, and you can tell who's the boss if you see a room full of people, is the fit of their clothes. So you can wear expensive pieces, you can wear designer labels, but if those pieces don't fit you correctly, if they don't balance your body, if the proportions are of it doesn't really matter how much you spend on that wardrobe. Fit is everything. So let's go back to the example of Rosalind Brewer. Now, if you look at the floral dress she wore on stage, the fit is absolutely perfect. The length of the dress, the way it hugs her body, it's just spot on. Again, you don't need to spend a lot of money to achieve this. Here's the key, okay? You can look in your own closet, find a dress that you absolutely love, something that represents your personality, your aesthetics, your style, and just alter it. Make sure it fits you the right way. The sleeves aren't too long. It fits around your chest, your waist. It balances your body properly. And again, you don't need a designer dress to do that. You just have to remember clothes are made for the masses. And we are not the masses, obviously, right? So the easiest way to get business clothes that give you that polished C-suite look, make small alterations, because having clothes that fit you correctly is absolutely not negotiable. Now, another thing that really differentiates a C-suite wardrobe from everyone else is the details. Now, let me give you an example. We are going to again go back to Rosalind Brewer, but this time we are focusing on her very corporate traditional headshot, okay? Now, this is a great example of how the details in your business clothes can position you as a C-suite leader. And in this headshot, Rosalind is wearing a classic black blazer and a white shirt, very traditional, very corporate. But when you take a closer look, it's not just any black blazer and white shirt. The blazer has that round curved lapels, a subtle but striking details. And the white shirt underneath also follows that same roundness. It's feminine, it's structured, it's less generic, more interesting, a little unexpected. And that is what sets her look apart. Again, it's those small details that truly differentiates a C-suite wardrobe from everyone else. Now, another example of how details make all the difference is in a silhouette you choose. So instead of going for something super corporate, generic and predictable, you can opt for silhouette that still looks polished and put together, but feels more original, more you, and really stands out. So now in this example, I want to show you a blazer that Rosalind Brewer wore. What I love about it is the black piping, a small detail that instantly makes that blazer more interesting. But it's not just the piping, it's also the silhouette. It's a wrap blazer, still structured, still professional, but it's not that typical traditional blazer you see so many women wear. And that's the point, right? Those small details, unexpected silhouettes, interesting finishing, like piping in this case, that's what creates a branded, polished C-suite business wardrobe. So lastly, let's talk about investment, because this is where a lot of my clients get really confused. So where do you invest and where do you save? Now, obviously, you want your wardrobe to carry you through years, but not knowing where to spend and where to hold back is a big struggle for a lot of you and also many of my clients as well. So here's how I look at this, okay? So first, I always invest in pieces I'm going to wear a lot. And to figure that out, I look at my lifestyle. So what do my days look like? What am I actually doing? Then I go for my wardrobe and make sure it reflects that. So I invest in pieces I can wear across many different situations, like Zoom calls, client meetings, presentations, events, you name it. I want those pieces to last me a long time and get worn regularly. The second thing I invest in, statement pieces. For me, that's blazers. I love a good printed blazer. That's where I like to put my money, because not only am I going to wear them, but I want those standout pieces to be well made. The fabric, the fit, the structure, all of it matters. Now, when it comes to savings, now I usually do that with basics. So like, neutral blouses that layer well under blazer, or the ones that I pair with like a statement pants, also t-shirts, everyday jewelry, accessories like, belts, scarves, Now, don't get me wrong, those are not cheap pieces, but I'm also not going to treat them as big investment items. They still need to last, but I don't need to spend a fortune on them. So now you know what a wardrobe for a C-suite leader should look like, what to pay attention to, where to spend money, where to save. If you want to learn more, I have a free guide in the description below, so you can just download it for free. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post a new video, which is every Wednesday. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.